Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Decent. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Happy Sukkot, everyone. Thanks, I appreciate it. So it's so good to bring in Shabbat, bring in Sukkot with everybody. I mean, so those of you who arrived within the last 7 minutes, you kind of missed it. Those of you who were here at 7:17, you got to see the gorgeous pinks behind us. But now we're enjoying this beautiful time outside together. You should have on your way in grabbed a large Mishkan Tefillah. That's our big blue prayer book. That's what we'll be praying from today. And because it is the beginning of a festival and Shabbat, we'll actually be praying on some different pages than normal. Typical service, but the page numbers are a little different with some special Sukkot readings thrown in there. So follow along for the page numbers if you're a regular and you go on autopilot, new page numbers tonight, okay? Take a second to know where your exits are. That exit takes you to stairs. That's also an exit to stairs. That is not an exit. Take a second to quiet your smartwatch so you don't get buzzed and all like that throughout the service. Make sure your cell phone alarms are off and in silent mode, just so we can be really present together in this space. And a big mazel tov to Jesse and Molly, who are becoming B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow afternoon. You hit the search button instead of the do not disturb one. I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, not that one. But this is the time to do it, though. This is the time. You're good. All good. All good. So Rabbi Rachel, cantorial soloist Jessica Tillum, take a second, turn to somebody you did not come here with, introduce yourself, a little Shabbat Shalom, and we'll come back together. Look at that. Wonderful. So, friends, if you would turn to page 384 for our Shabbat and festival candle lighting, I would like to invite up what do we call this? The chairs of the Sisterhood event that happened tonight. So let's see, that's going to be Lori Cohen, Ingrid Dunowitz, Laura Beth Summerfield, Ellen Gilmer, all helped put together our Sisterhood Sukkah event, and so you guys can help in lighting the candles, and don't worry, Jessica will lead us in the blessing. You're welcome. Shout out to Sisterhood member Cheryl Miller for finding these containers to keep everything lit. So on behalf of everybody, Lori or two of you can go ahead and light. If everyone will please rise. They're inviting you to light both. All right, so we welcome in some love and light and warmth for Shabbat and Sukkot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kinishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
Beautiful, thank you. And we welcome the air noise along with us. So friends, while we're still standing, let's turn to page 389, please. And together, let's read this blessing of Sukkot here. Together. Tonight, let our shelters be strung with the finest fruits of creation, love, fertility, prosperity, wisdom. Let us promise to feed the hungry. Let our harvest bring peace. And so, friends, if you would like to take that energy and go and light your own Shabbat and Sukkot candles, you can do so inside. If you would like to stay out here, you're welcome to be seated. We're going to have to flip all the way back in our prayer books to 142 for Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Botem l'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai. Lai, 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 lai.
And those still lighting candles, you're welcome to continue. We're going to turn to page 138 as we welcome in the Sabbath bride, the Charodi.
Likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, lechadodi, likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, Shamor v'zachor, v'tibor echad, Yishmi'anu am yochad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, likrat Shabbat, l'chu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikidem, nesucha, sof ma'aseh, b'machshava tachila. Dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, hitoreri,
Number 5.
hitoreri, kiva orek, lumi uri, shir taberi, kavod Adonai alayik nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, nekabelai, lecha dodi likrat kala, yalalai, 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 Pnei Shabbat, נקבלה.
We rise and face the door.
בואי בשלום, עצרת בנה, גם בשמחה ובתודה, תוך אמוני הסגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
We face forward.
לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה. איי, 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 לך דודי לקראת כלה, יללה, 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 פני שבת נקבלה.
Friends, we remain standing, and as we move from Kabbalat Shabbat to our Ma'ariv, we're going to go all the way back in our prayer book to 394, as we remain standing for our call to worship, Baruch Hu.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We turn to page 397. And we join together at the bottom of 397. The colors of early evening sky blend and deepen, allowing new lights to be seen, twinkling through the branches, the promise that in darkness, new light will be revealed. And what a service to be able to spend outside. What a time in the service to be outside right as this is the time of year when we pray words of Ma'ariv Aravim, of rolling into dark, and we quite literally have watched the evening roll in. So we join together. The words can be found in the back inside cover of your prayer book. Maybe.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Borei yom v'layla, kolel or mipnei choshech, kolel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Page 400, words of Shema. Recalling Rabbi Max's words on Kol Nidre, that first call isn't to God, the first call is to us, for us to listen. We stand tall, we stand proud of our Judaism. Words of Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. Words of Ve'ahavta are on page 402. This is our prayer that reminds us that we should be mindful of our actions, that our kids are watching, that the kids of the world are watching. And they're looking to us to see how we behave and what we do, and they learn from us so that they can too teach the next generation. We join together.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
On the bottom of page 405, let's pray responsively. Doubting is but the forefront of faith, a faith in the infinite growth of an unbounded creation. A doubting age is one of restlessness and discontent with what is current. A doubt is an idea that is still alive. To doubt that the past has uncovered all things is to express faith that many things are still to be uncovered. To doubt that we have grown to our full stature in knowledge is to express faith that we may develop into beings of such power and dignity that we cannot as yet imagine what shall be. And we imagine that the Israelites had no idea what was ahead of them as they stood at the edge of the sea and as they crossed over with these words of Micha Mocha 406.
Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 mi chamocha banim Adonai mi chamocha nedar bakodesh noratehi lo sefele noratehi lo sefele
On page 408, we have the prayer of Hashkivenu, a prayer that is super duper relevant right now in the holiday of Sukkot. We talk about in this prayer that it says, it asks that a Sukkat Shalom be spread over us. And what are we supposed to be doing starting tonight? We're supposed to be dwelling in the sukkah, supposed to be in this place that the roof isn't all there. The sides, they're not totally complete, that we're really vulnerable, and yet we're supposed to welcome people in. We're supposed to be open to those vulnerabilities. And the prayer of Hashkivenu is one that calls on a slightly different kind of sukkah. It's asking that sukkah be one of peace. And so while we think, well, I'm assuming, not so many of us are going to be sleeping in the sukkah tonight, but maybe throughout the week you'll have a chance to step into one. Maybe you'll have the chance to eat in one, or shake a lulav and etrog in one. There are lots of, or study inside one. Lots of ways to be in a sukkah in the next 7 or 8 days. And so it's my hope that when you step into that sukkah, whether it's one at your house, at a friend's, at a stranger's, or here at the synagogue, that you find a little bit of peace in that sukkah. We join together, Hashkivenu 408.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ushmoi tziteinu uvoeinu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
On page 410, we have Vishamru, our blessing for Shabbat, this melody by Rothblum, the one that is peppy and uppy. You know, the Hashkivenu melodies out there, none of them are really leaving us up here. It's somber to match the words of the prayer, and yet we kind of get jolted in Vishamru. There are some slower Vishamrus, but the one that our community does the most frequently, we have a rotation, but the one that we do the most frequently, it's a little bit of a jolt sometimes, and so we rabbis, we try to talk before it to ease us into it. And look, it's a reflection of life sometimes, that we need that little jolt. And you know what I'm realizing I didn't do at the start of services, because, I don't know, maybe I can blame something in my brain going on right now, but was I didn't have us separate the week that was. I didn't have us do the breath and the meditation. I feel like I'm feeling that now. And so actually, I'm going to really jolt us tonight, because I want us to have that separation if we really needed it. And I let you down and I missed it earlier. We're going to do it now and then really jolt ourselves awake with this blessing for Shabbat. So take a second, put your feet on the floor. Maybe flutter your eyes closed. And usually we do this before candles. But this is a nice point in the service to do it too, because this is the special prayer that's added for Shabbat. And so anything that you were holding on to running up to even this moment in the service, things that kept you busy this week, we're gonna make sure we really left them behind so that we can be fully present for this Sabbath prayer. And so let's take a deep breath in and let it out. Another deep breath together. Let it out. And this final breath, we take it in. We let it out. We flutter our eyes open. And we bring a new energy to the rest of the service. We bring an extent, not that you guys haven't been great, but we bring an even a renewed energy into this prayer for Shabbat, Vishamru 410.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. כי ששת Asa Adonai, Asa Adonai, et Hashemayim v'yetaretz v'shamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש שבת וינפש שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם.
We're going to turn to page 468 for our Amidah, our Tefillah. And friends, this is the last time of the year. This is the last call that we prayed the words on page 470. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, no, because I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. On page 472, this is the last time that we'll be saying Morid Hatal. That next Shabbat, we will, for the first time, have a chance to say Mashiv HaRuach or Morid HaGashem, which means instead of asking for there to be dew, we are asking for there to be rain. And not here in Atlanta, Georgia, but no, not just other places, in Israel. That what we're about to do in this holiday of Sukkot is we're about to do a little Jewish rain dance. When we shake that lulav and etrog all around us, we're calling for God to bring the rains at the right time. When's the right time? At the end of Sukkot, like clockwork. Usually day 2, day 3, definitely by the end of Sukkot, it starts to rain in Israel. It's timed very well. It's like somebody knew what they were doing. And so too do we, even in the diaspora, even outside of the land of Israel, we connect to that. When do we do that? We connect to it during our Gevurot, during a part of our Amidah, and it's when we make that switch. So this is the last time, though, because we don't want the rain yet. We're going to be in Sukkot. We're going to be in Sukkahs. So you don't want to get rained on in your Sukkah. So we, for the final time, are going to do Morid Hatal when we get there on 472. But for now, please rise, page 468.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zoker Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LaHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umido melech melech meimit umechaye umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lechayot hakol baruch atah Adonai mechaye hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom ya'alucha sela, baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We take a few moments for either personal prayer or the prayers of our prayer book. And when you have completed those moments in your heart and in your soul, I'll invite you to please be seated.
יהי רצון אמרי והגיון ליבי, יהי רצון אמרי והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'goali, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri v'goali. Go inside your heart, just be. Go inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and meditations of my heart be kind, be true, be acceptable to you, oh my rock, my rock, and my redeemer. That's what I call team.
Easier than the handheld for the sermon. So Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sukkot. Chag Sukkot Sameach. There are many beautiful ways to greet one another tonight and into this week as we celebrate the holiday of Sukkot. And I'm incredibly excited this year because, first of all, I'm still standing to enjoy it. And second of all, well, kind of half standing, half sitting. And second of all, it is the first year that Max and I have purchased and built a sukkah to call our own, and it is up. For 7 years, we lived in apartments that didn't exactly allow for them. And then we made the probably legitimate excuse that between the pandemic, having a newborn, then a toddler, getting the logistics of a sukkah together just wasn't in our cards. Plus, Rabbi Max's parents, hi Cheryl, they have a great sukkah at their house, so we just used that. But this summer, we said this is our year. We are ordering one early, and we will build a sukkah by golly. And I mean, it was very intentional. So a year ago or whatever, we took our backyard from basically uninhabitable to a highly usable space. And we even incorporated into the plans a specific layout, classic rabbis, that would allow for a gorgeous sukkah to be put up. And so while it wasn't a major holiday in my home growing up, recently I have really come to love the holiday of Sukkot. Here are some of the at-home highlights. We're supposed to build and dwell, basukat teshvu. We're supposed to build and dwell in the sukkah. The Torah says for 7 days. This means, as I mentioned earlier, we're supposed to eat, study, maybe sleep a little bit, hang out in the sukkah. We are supposed to be joyful. The Torah specifically says, you shall hold the Feast of Booths for 7 days. You should rejoice in your festival with your son and daughter, your male and female slave, the family of the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow in your communities. You shall hold a festival for Adonai your God 7 days in the place that Adonai will choose. For your God will bless all of your crops and all of your undertakings, and you shall have nothing but joy. That's a lot of joy. This is a happy, happy holiday. Now, another thing we're supposed to do that I mentioned earlier, a rain dance. That's right, we shake around that lulav and etrog, and we ask God to make sure it rains in the land of Israel at the right time for a good harvest. Now, Sukkot is a time when we can also lean into the value of hachnasat orchim, of welcoming guests, as modeled by Abraham and Sarah, who, as Rabbi Max spoke about on Kol Nidre, rush to welcome the strangers who approached their tent. So too do we invite folks into our tent, our sukkahs. It's a time of inviting our regulars and a chance to reach out to folks who haven't been around or who we haven't gotten to know yet. And as many of you have heard or noticed in looking around the congregation tonight, we had our sisterhood dinner this evening of sisters neath the sukkah. And we came together for Shabbat and Sukkot dinner, harvest themed. Well done, ladies. And many of the goals of sisterhood, I think, are highlighted alongside this holiday of Sukkot. And that's because synagogue groups like sisterhood, they allow for members of our community to bond on a more intimate level. Now, while we love it when our community comes together for huge social events, prayer, and programs, it can be hard to feel seen when it's always a big to-do. We were all just together, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur services. That's a lot of people. But during Sukkot, our sukkahs only fit so many people. And this allows us to bond on a deeper level by bringing a smaller, more intentional group together. Which, by the way, is why we need a bigger sukkah here at Temple Emanu-El. If anyone is interested in helping with this endeavor for future years, please let me know. The memories and the bonds that are formed during Sukkot, they are unique because it's not every day that we dwell in a temporary hut together. I kind of see some direct parallels with what it means to gather with sisterhood. It's not every day that you intentionally gather with a group of women to create bonds and memories, engage in experiences, and find community. And you can replace sisterhood with any of our smaller groups at Temple Emanu-El. And remember, in this context, though, sisterhood is for all ages. Those who are young of heart, those with a little more experience, those with no kids, just had kids, grown kids, or grandkids. Whether Jewish or Jewishly adjacent, we start from a place in our friendship making by having a shared history or a current life experience together. And we elevate a holiday like Sukkot by joining these intentional groups to make and solidify core memories. Sometimes it'll be that we remember taking sips of a sweet harvest-themed drink surrounded by the walls of the sukkah and new and familiar faces. Other times it will be a memory of building the sukkah together and all of the ups and downs and frustrations and wondering where that one missing part went and the victories that we feel after we get it put up. Still other times, it'll be about that one new face that you met, someone you connected with, and therefore launched a friendship that continued well after the holiday. So tonight is only the first night of Sukkot. We have many more days and nights to come together with our synagogue community, our family, our friends, our chosen family, and to meet new people along the way. So friends, I hope that your Sukkot gets to be filled with great joy, the chance to welcome new and familiar guests, or to be the new or familiar guest. At least a couple of opportunities to shake that lulav and etrog in your best rain dance form. And if you didn't build a sukkah this year, there's always next year. Chag Sukkot Sameach, Happy Sukkot, and Shabbat Shalom. And so friends, since Sukkot is all about joy, I figured now was a good time in the service to share a few of the joyful moments going on in our lives. So if anybody has something good ahead of our Shehechianu prayer, thanking God for reaching this day, what's something good? I want you to share your name and the good thing that's going on in your life.
Hi, I'm Edie Disner, and I have a big good in our lives. My husband works in the film industry, and I'm sure you've all heard about the strike. And as of about 5 o'clock this afternoon, he signed a contract to start work on a TV show on Sunday.
Yay! We love that. Other joyful things going on in our lives. Oops, sorry.
I'm Gail Goldstein. My mom is going to move to Dunwoody.
Yay!
So it's a big deal. She's been living and coming for a long time, and she's coming back this direction.
And we love it, yes. Oh, Steve, I couldn't tell if you had a niche. Did you have? No, okay.
Hi, I'm Martha Lass, and we just recently celebrated last week Norman's 80th birthday with lots of family coming in from other places.
Yes, Mazel Tov, happy birthday. Any last joyful moments to share? Jess, anything for you? Just all good things. She made it through another Rosh Hashanah, and not just made it, blessed us with her voice for another Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And so for reaching this moment in time, being on the other side of those holidays and entering these new ones, we join together in Shehecheyanu, page 648. Do you want this mic pack back? I can use this the rest of the service. Let's do it. Okay.
All right. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
It's my pleasure to call up Ellen Gilmer, a member of our Board of Trustees and one of the tri-chairs of Sisterhood, to share with us some announcements. Do you want the music, Steve?
Thanks. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Can you hear? Okay. We want to welcome our B'nai Mitzvah family, the Medaros family, their extended family guests. We want to welcome our TE members, those that are here tonight, and also those that are watching online. I encourage everyone to check the weekly TE events and programming. An email comes out on Monday, and there's a lot of details on upcoming programs. Just to name a few, Mahjong, which is sponsored by Sisterhood, is every Thursday. Mazel Tov's registration for October is now open. It's really fun. There's a lot of educational groups. It's perfect for the little one in your life. And there's various age groups. There's from 1 to 5 months, 6 to 17 months, and 18 months to 3 years. And the kids just love it. October the 6th, there's the K2 concentration at consecration and Simchat Torah Shabbat. So enjoy dinner and then stay for the celebration. You can register online or see Marina. She'll help you with whatever you need. The temple has many volunteer opportunities. There's the Community Assistance Center. There's Backpack Buddies, providing lunches for Mary Hall. That's just to name a few. You know, it's a real asset for the temple. It really helps the temple. But it also, if you find a cause that you believe in, it makes you feel better. And it's a great way to meet people, too. Do something really good and make new friends. There's pamphlets in the lobby about the various social justice committees and different things you can participate in. So please, you know, if you're interested, take a look or talk to me or other people here at the temple that are active. And if you're a new member or just visiting, please, after services, come up to me or other members, the clergy, and you know, say hello and we can talk. One last thing. Tonight at our Sisterhood dinner, I know you mentioned the Sisterhood dinner, we honored a very special person. And I'm not going to go into as much as we did, Miss Nora Florsham, but Nora is the volunteer of the temple, probably at the top. You can find her baking for the temple's, events. You can find her welcoming new congregants. She'll sit at the front desk and welcome people when they come in. She helps raise money for the temple, selling mahjong cards, baking, and that helps sisterhood. She helps bake hamantaschen, which gets money for the religious schools. She does all these things, and she just keeps doing them. Thank you, Nora. Thank you for all you do. And thank you, Steve, for supporting her. We want to thank the ushers tonight, Share Manasseh and Norm and Ann Mandel. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. And coming together in community means it's also a time we share all these really good things and all the things going on. It's also a time to lift one another up because there are congregants who are a little down in need of healing of mind, body, spirit, relationship. And so this Shabbat we are especially thinking of healing for Rob Gilbert, Brenda Grazier, Charlie Cohn, David Blass, Alvin Levy, Kaska Mishkogi, Harvey Apple, Dana Weber, Aaron Silverman, Vladi Hirsu, Bill Berger, Jerry Penn, Caitlin Sylvie, Carol Katz, Todd Anton, Ken Schiffer, Karnina Michal, Bat Yitzchak Vitova, Jennifer Herman, Jeffrey Crispo, Mark Lodinger, Jesse McCajan, Max Krohn, Paul Greenberger, Leah Bat Yocheved, Yehudit Bat Yocheved, Kathy Sylvie, and Mitchell Friedberg. If there is somebody that you are praying for the healing of, I invite you to share that name as my eyes meet yours. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Friends will rise. If it's okay with a neighbor, wrap an arm around. We'll join together in Misha Berach. Words can be found on 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Laimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Friends will remain standing. I think, Brock, you might be the only one under the age of bar bat mitzvah. She's here? Oh. Okay, whoever's here that's under, oh, Joel's here. Okay, with Brock, duh. Okay, whoever's here under bar bat mitzvah, come on up. That's both of you then. Who should get to hold the big cup, though? You think you should? Okay, Joel, you can do it next time. That's all right. So pick up a little one. Bill's going to pass around some extra cups. Friends, we're on page 386. Don't get too lost in the melody here because it's the special one for the festival, so it's going to change on us real quick, okay? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, v'romemanu mikol lashon, v'kedishanu b'mitzvotav. I told you it's for festival. V'atitein lanu Adonai Eloheinu b'ahava, Shabbatot l'minucha, u'moadim l'simcha, hagim uzmanim l'sason, et yom hashabbat hazeh, ve'et yom chag hasukot hazeh, zman simchatenu mikra kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitraim, ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim, v'shabbat u'moadei kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, v'simcha uv'sason hidchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat v'Yisrael v'hazmanim. Say amen. Beautiful, l'chaim livracha. You may drink. And friends, will again stay standing as Brock and Joel come up. You'll put your cups down, and then come on up to our ark, please. As we turn to page 586, right here, boop, boop. Or all the way around, either way. 586, as we begin to conclude our service, Aleinu l'shabeach. We'll survive. Shoe bug. All right, there you go. All right, we can't start till you open it.
Each take a door.
Each take a door.
You got it?
There we go.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gedula liotzer breshid, shelo afsanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kamishpachot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, Vanachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech melchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu, v'nemar v'haya Adonai, lamelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
All right, you guys can close it. There you go. Thank you. Please be seated. So friends, we are at the point in our service where we think of our loved ones. We call to mind the memory of those who have died in most recent days and those in seasons past as well. And so we are especially thinking, of course, of the family of Alan Schwarzenfeld. And in a period of Shloshim, those for Nancy Kessler, Yitzchak Meir Stark, Raymond Alvin Lifshez, Ben Zion Kedem, Shelley Renee Johnson, and Herbert Lee McGrew. And those observing yard sites for Milton Anderson, Bess Friedland Barnett, Florence Burke, Martin Binder, Jack Broda, Jean Diamondstein, Irving Fogelman, Aaron Grief, Louis Lass, David Lifshitz, Celia Mandel, Gert Peskin, Goldie Preluck, Sadie Rosen, Adrienne Safier, Herman Saltzman, Gloria Seitzman, Jacob Sherman, Mark Shore, Tilly T. Siegel, John W. Stanley, Arthur Stein, Stanley Steinmetz, Joshua James Stone, Alfred E. Stone, Neil Sussman, Gertrude Sussman, Evelyn Silverman Terratute, Seymour Weberman, Sanford Sandy Weinberg, Vonnie Wenner, Michael Wexler, Sophia A. Zimmerman, and Oscar Charles Zimmerman. there is a name I inadvertently skipped or mispronounced, I invite you to share that name aloud at this time. And if you are in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise so we may recognize you. If you are in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days after the loss of a loved one, please rise. If you're in the first year, Yud Bet, mourning the loss of a loved one, I invite you to rise now. If on this Shabbat you are commemorating a yahrzeit, death anniversary of a loved one, to rise at this time. And if it is your custom to rise for Mourner's Kaddish, as it is here at Temple Emanu-El, we invite you to do so now. The words of Kaddish Tome can be found on 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei amayah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu. Min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran ve'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'atei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Last but not least, a little wala to the challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Happy Sukkot.